All right, good morning, kindergarten. Today I have a writing lesson for you, and this is one that Miss Richlick's very excited about because this is a skill that I use all the time when I'm drawing pictures during my writing. So today we're going to learn about sketching. Can you say sketching? Yes, sketching. So we're going to use some sketching to create a picture of a tree that can go with your writing for today. Awesome. So a sketch is a quick pencil drawing that artists do to show what an object looks like. Sketches are made using quick, light pencil marks on a page. Artists can later turn their sketches into beautiful pieces of finished art with a little bit more time and work, which is exactly what we're going to do today too. You've probably seen Miss Morales do this in her classes. This is what real artists do, just like illustrators who draw the pictures for books. Great. So one thing that's important to keep in mind today is that sketches are not finished pieces of work. They are not supposed to be perfect. It is an okay time for you to make mistakes and go back and fix things. Mistakes actually help us get better and better each time we're sketching. I know Miss Richlick makes a lot of mistakes sometimes while drawing, so I'm excited to learn how I can get better from those. Okay, so before we start sketching, we need to start with a picture or an object that we're trying to sketch. So yesterday, we read the story Oliver's Tree. So I'm gonna sketch a tree that we saw in the story. I've chosen this tree to sketch today. This is the one that Oliver could not reach his friends in because it was too tall. Okay, so we're gonna get started sketching. So, when we sketch, there are a couple steps that we want to follow. So step one is closely look at the picture. So let's look at the whole picture and look for shapes. What shapes do you see on this tree? Wow, great job. I'm noticing that the trunk of the tree sort of looks like a rectangle, and so do the branches. I'm seeing some circles and some blobs in the leaves of the tree, and I also see an oval right here, this hole in the middle of the tree. Great, now we look from top to bottom and say what we notice. So say out loud what you notice in this drawing. Yes, great job. I notice there's green at the top. I notice some different colors in the leaves. I notice the branches have straight lines where the leaves have some curvy lines. And I notice there's black in the inside of this hole in the brown trunk of the tree. Great, so now we want to notice the type of lines. I'm seeing this picture is a lot like the sketch we're going to do. There's lots of lines to show the texture or what the tree bark feels like. Great, so we're gonna get started. Now, step one is to take your eraser. Here's my eraser. So gently trace out what you want to do on the paper with your eraser. I know that sounds a little bit silly because it's not going to leave any marks, but this is good help for us to practice what we want our drawing to look like. So I'm gonna sketch the tree. Here are my branches. Here are the curly leaves. And then here's the stem, the trunk of the tree, some roots, and the hole. Okay, now that might have felt a little silly because you did not see me making any marks on the page. but that's okay. That was just even more practice before we actually draw. Okay, so now we're going to take the other end of our pencil and we're going to sketch what we see. I want you to take very light pencil movements. That means we're really not pressing very hard at all when we're sketching. So let's get started. I'm gonna start with the branches. I'm gonna choose one place. So I'm gonna start with the branches. Let me sketch those. Notice I'm using some scratchy pencil lines. I can always go back and change things. So it doesn't matter if I have some extra lines right now. Okay, I see 1, 2, 3 branches, so I drew 1, 2, 3 branches. Now I'm gonna sketch our leaves. Let me take a close look at them. Great, so I see some curly outlines. Oh, I'm gonna run into my words, that's okay. And then inside, I also see a lot of little curly, swirly lines that I'm gonna use to draw my leaves. Some of them look a little bit like circles. Some of them are just sort of curlies. Notice how it might look a little messy right now. That's because we're just getting the outline of our tree. We can always add and take things away before we're totally finished. Great, so there's the top of my tree. Now I'm gonna move down to the trunk. See, I think that goes out a little too wide. The tree doesn't look that wide, so I can always take my pencil and erase. You can always erase when we're sketching. There we go. So I see some straight lines. Let me get some straight lines in there. Great. Now remember, we can always go back and erase if we need to. There's our root coming out. Great. Now I'm gonna go and draw the hole that I see in the middle of the tree. So let me get, I see that it's an oval shape, so I'm gonna use my sketch lines to draw an oval shape. And oh, I went outside the tree. That's okay, I can always erase. And I'm gonna fill that in with some more lines because I know I want to make it black inside like the tree is in the picture. Okay, last but not least, I'm noticing there's a lot of shading. Some lines on the tree to give the texture of the bark. So let me add some of those in. Awesome. So there's my tree. Do you think it looks like the other tree in the picture? What do you think? Give Miss Richlick some feedback. What do you notice in my drawing that's the same or different? Great job, awesome. So now that we're done sketching, we're gonna clean it up a little bit. So I'm gonna go in with my eraser and I'm gonna take out some of these extra lines that I did in the beginning that I might not need. So So sketching is all about making sure that we've practiced before we turn in a final drawing. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean it up by erasing any extra parts that I don't want in my drawing. Okay. All right. So now it's looking much cleaner. Now I can go on to the next step, which is adding color. So I'm going to take a look at what colors I see in here, and I'm going to add them to my picture. Great. You're going to do that on your own time today. So remember, as you're drawing and writing today about Oliver's tree, I want you to first sketch a picture of your tree before you get your crayons and start coloring. So before you get your crayons, I want you to take a pencil, sketch the tree that you want to draw, or anything else. You can also sketch a person. Or if you're writing about Oliver, you can sketch about him. Great. So we can use sketching to draw anything. So I want you to sketch a picture before you use crayons and then write your sentence. Great job. I'm so excited to see all your artistry and your sketches. So today's writing prompt, I want you to draw a picture and write at least one sentence about how Oliver and his friends enjoy trees. Draw a picture with a sketch first and write at least one sentence about how Oliver and his friends enjoy trees in the story. Awesome job, kindergarten. Remember to upload your work to Class Dojo so you can get your points. I'm so proud of you. Have a great rest of your day.